Several of us might be using iPhones to watch this video, but do you think that your data or personal information on it is safe? Is someone keeping an eye on it for what you're accessing or storing in your phone? Well, yes, it sounds spooky, but recently there was an attempt to breach several iPhones where Apple sent a warning via email cautioning a state-sponsored attack. Some leaders of the opposition, including Shashi Tharoor and Mallikarjun Kharge, have been alleged to receive this threat. Is there actually a breach of security by the American MNC, or as reported, there is a connection of George Soros to all of this? Let us try and debunk what the whole controversy is about. Hello and welcome, I am Shreya and you're watching the Pamphlet. Yesterday, a notice was sent to the American tech giant Apple regarding the state-sponsored attack notification received by several of the opposition leaders, and the Indian Nodal Agency for Security CERT-In has decided to initiate an investigation for the same. On October 31st, several MPs and politicians received an alert from Apple suggesting that a state-sponsored threat attack might be trying to access their phones. But then immediately, Apple responded to the situation, stating that these alerts are not reliable and they are just false alarms. However, Union Minister for Electronics and Information Technology Ashwini Vaishnaw thinks that these statements by Apple are just vague and non-specific in nature, and that the government of Bharat takes its role of protecting the privacy and security of all citizens very seriously and will investigate to get to the bottom of these notifications. India on its part is doing its bit by sending a notice to Apple and starting a probe on the same. But there is not so shocking connection to this breach of security, which is that of George Soros. Actually, the threat message that was sent by Apple had messaged that if you are an activist, independent journalist or non-profit worker, you can contact them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week through their website accessnow.org help. So this Access Now NGO that is mentioned here has been funded by several organizations, including George Soros Open Society Foundation and Ford Foundation. Both these organizations have been linked in the past with funding anti-India elements. Also, how can we forget 93-year-old George Soros, who has been saying these anti-Modi statements and wanting to topple the democratically elected government in India. Another thing that came to limelight here is that Seema Chishti, a journalist at The Wire and the wife of CPIM leader Sitaram Yechuri, is on board of Access Now, the digital helpline mentioned in the Apple notification. Interestingly, leftist propaganda portal The Wire is at the forefront of this activism, where it is crying itself hoarse that the current dispensation is going after opposition leaders and journalists. This is also not the first time that The Wire is involved in creating an air of conspiracy regarding the current government and their infinite superpowers, which they want everyone to believe are used to silence dissenting voices. Except the last time The Wire was found making such claims, it turned out to be a hoax based on figment of imagination of people associated with The Wire, who frankly at this point appear quite delusional. And while Apple has said this security alert could be a false alarm, The Wire and the entire propaganda machinery is working overtime to conjure up wild conspiracies. Thank you for watching. If you like the content, do like, share and subscribe to our channel, The Pamphlet.